Okay, so just a quick video on getting started on assignment 2. So we've got here, I'm just looking at the array implementation portion of the assignment. So in here is my array, in my array list.h defines the class with the data members defined, as well as the constructor, the deconstructor, and the member functions of that class. Notice no implementation is provided for the constructor and deconstructor or the member functions in this file. Those implementations will go in the .cpp file. Now, if we look in the .cpp file, you'll see that, in fact, all of the functions are here, but their implementation is left empty. Now if I look at the tester is quite similar to the last tester you saw, where in a main function we call a bunch of subsequent functions, and after each one executes, this test passed variable increments. So the first test that runs is test constructor, calling this function, and let's see, it creates an array list object and calls the size function and empty function on that array list and tests those three pieces of your dots that will be implemented in your .cpp file. So if I were to compile this, I type g++-wall, I need the array list.cpp, and I want to compile the tester -o, and I'm going to call that executable test. So now if I look, I've got my test executable that's there, and now if I run test, I see that I failed the test case at line number 42. So line number 42, failing here. So the things that happen before that line in the method are the things that I need to consider. So here I know that it creates a new list object. When a new list object is created, I know the constructor executes. So that's the first thing I need to implement, is this constructor. So if I go into the .h file, it'll give me documentation on exactly what that constructor is to do. And the same thing goes for the other two methods that were called, these other two functions that were called, l.size and l.empty. So if I look in the .cpp file, I should see functions that match those names. Here's size and here's empty. So right now size just returns -1 and empty returns true. But if I look in the .h file, it'll give me the specification of exactly what should happen in those functions. So size returning the number of elements in the list, and empty returning true if the number of elements is 0, and false if the number of elements is greater than 0. Okay, so give that a try and see how that goes.